all protocol observed. The theme before us is reconciliation and transitional justice. For very practical reasons, I would suggest that we divided this general global theme in two. We deal first with reconciliation, then we'll deal with transitional justice. I would like just to share with you some of the questions which come to my mind when we talk of reconciliation. The first question is, what is reconciliation? And who is involved in the reconciliation? When is it appropriate to start reconciliation? And how fast is reconciliation? Talking of the concept of reconciliation, thank you. I hope you can hear me. Talking of the concept of reconciliation, there is a religious meaning of reconciliation, political meaning, but I will not go into those details. Let me just use the practitioner meaning of reconciliation. Reconciliation is both a goal and a process. Is a way of rebuilding a relationship and coming to terms with painful past. Is it establishing a painful past. This is how South Africans have defined, Archbishop Tutu defined reconciliation. A balance between a painful past and a peaceful future. A balance between a painful past and a peaceful future. It is also a process of remembering what has happened. Because even if you reconcile, if you forgive, you don't forget that you have lost a child, a husband, a son, a relative. You can forgive, but you don't forget. So it's a way of remembering and learning from the past. Reconciliation is also a process which cannot be imposed. It must be voluntary. It cannot be decided by a government decree. It is a societal decision. Everybody concerned must be involved. Of course, reconciliation brings two parties together. Those who had fought, those who have taken arms, and those who were victims. So reconciliation is a dialogue to start with. And it must be inclusive. Reconciliation is, I would say, sharing a vision for the future. When talking of reconciliation and looking at the recent examples in the history of the African continent, two countries come to my mind. South Africa, where I live personally, where I retired when I finished working with United Nations, and Rwanda, which is a country neighboring my own country, Burundi. In South Africa, reconciliation has been possible thanks to the leadership of a great leader of Africa, Nelson Mandela, but also which it was possible thanks to the spiritual leadership of Archbishop Tutu, Desmond Tutu. So the role of leadership is very, very important. I did say you cannot do reconciliation by decree, but you need leaders. Leaders not only from governments, but also leaders from society, civil society, youth, women. The other example which comes to my mind also is Rwanda. Rwanda has lost in 1994 between 800,000 and 1 million persons. But Rwanda is now a country which is at peace, which is building its own future. Rwanda has gone through what many African countries have known, which my own country, Burundi, has known. The colonial masters have divided African colonies between ethnic tribes in order to dominate, divide and rule, as the old Romans used to say. So President Kagame, who is the leader I'm referring to here, has abolished cards, national cards, ID cards of indicating you are Hutu, you are Tutsi, you are a Rwandan. That is very important. Now, coming to this region, I would say, yes, I think reconciliation is possible. And we are in a region which has a very rich tradition of generosity and forgiveness. I personally remember coming here in 1981-82 when I was working for United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, visiting the national state authorities and visiting Chadian refugees. You have succeeded to deal with Chadian refugees, both in Nigeria and Cameroon. Nigeria has been generous in offering asylum to refugees. Not only that, I remember at the international conference in 1981 and 1984 in Geneva, Nigeria giving a very generous contribution of $2 million to assist refugees in Africa. So I will stop here on the issue of reconciliation, allow my colleagues to also to share their views, and allow all of you to share your views, because it's important that we hear your views. Then we'll talk about transitional justice. Thank you, Madam Moderator.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed, our co-chair, Ambassador Nicholas Kwakira. Let's put our hands together. Thank you. He has not only spoken as a senior advisor, but an elder of Africa. Having listened to him, the very first example of this transitional justice and reconciliation is right here in the room. They're going to be taking their intervention together, and we're inviting the Interfaith Mediation Center, combination of Chief and Deputy Chief of Party, Pastor Wuye and Imam Ashafa, I understand that the intervention happens together and will be directed as such. Please, you're welcome to the podium. Thank you. Let's put our hands together as they come. They said this is an example, and they introduced themselves as the twins. You're welcome.
Yeah, peace be with you.
Assalamu alaikum.
This morning, we want to superimpose our presentation on the established protocol that was established yesterday. So we do not want to reinvent the wheel. But we want to say to everyone that is here, particularly those who have facilitated the story we are about sharing, because ours is about what is the existing issues concerning reconciliation, ongoing reconciliation, and transitional justice, as the case may be. To some people here, I will say to the host in the language, because the host was generous to bring us here some years back, we say Ushe to His Excellency. To our friends in Norway, we say to them Tak for also supporting our activities. And to USAID, we say thank you. To the German, we say Dankeschön. To everyone that is here, Mongoli. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, we come from a story of being former. As I stand with my colleague, I have with me here an artificial limb that I lost as a result of our own kind of asymmetric war. When we were programmed to hate one another, when we were programmed to kill one another, in a city of Kaduna that used to be the epicenter of conflict before the challenges we are having in this region, within 2 days, we killed over 3,000 people, barely using local instrument of war and but destroying houses and places of worship. We come from the background where we have fought one another, and we epitomize and exemplify what this transitional justice is all about in terms of localizing and contextualizing this transitional justice as former clans, as the general will put it. So on this note, I want to say, we live what we want to say. We share the pains that is shared here. We will have a little time here to share our experience and journey of life as we pragmatize reconciliation and forgiveness.
And most important, when we talk about reconciliation, coming from our own backgrounds, the process have about 4 different R's. It starts with rehabilitations, and then it moves into reintegrations. Then it moves into reconstruction before you finally have the true reconciliation we want to witness in our society. And the most important is who is involved. With whom do you carry out these processes? And in doing that, from our own practical experience in the last 23 years of engagement, we have successful stories. We have models. We believe strongly will work in this region. Processes that have worked in our intervention in Kenya after post-election violence, specifically in the Rift Valley, where a documentary of what we call An African Answer came out of that resolution. And when you ask Mr. Gogul,
they will also tell you about the imam and the pastor responding to conflict. And that is the story that we carry along the world that has been translated into 16 international languages. Barely screening the film among formers brings about change of attitude. A typical example happened in Yola 3 weeks ago when people were brought together in the university to discuss how to receive the formers, the people that they call the clients. And there was a lot of resistance by the communities, particularly those who came from Mubi. Unfortunately, or fortunately, our film was screened and there was shift of position. So we recommend that if we really want to begin this, we should have example of people who have hurt, who have killed, and have forgiven.
And it's not that alone. Apart from working in Kenya, our documentary, what you call loving the enemy, is another process of our modules for practically engaging between the victims and the victimizer. And that documentary so far is right now in action being used in Central Africa Republic.
The Shango language has translated the film, and they are using it now to bring about reconciliation among people who have fought, are still fighting in CRA. That same documentary, when we were intervening in Chad, when we brought religious leaders together to look at the issues that was internal under the office of the National Mediator of Chad Republic, the film was used to prevent retaliation on those who were returning from Central African Republic into the Chad. And this, we feel, is a strong instrument that we can use to pragmatize actual reconciliation and healing of past memories.
And most important, when you look at the concept of psychosocial counseling, of course, there are modules for psychosocial counseling, the clinical modules, the secular modules approach, but we have what we call the interfaith psychosocial counseling modules, a modules with which His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, invited us in and chartered a flight to bring us in during those dark days to come and work with the first released victims of the Chibok girls, and with whom we work in this hall. In this hall, with the first 57 Chibok girls, we work with His Excellency, staying almost 24 hours, serving with us on that particular thing. These are modules that have worked. Not only that, in the IDPs,
we have the opportunity to work with IDPs that were called special IDPs. Now that it's over, we can say it. In the camp that were come with NDA Kaduna, and we worked with them for several days, and we're able to move them to this stage after deprogramming them and moving them here. And that during the period, we have a lot of change of attitude. People learn to forgive those who have hurt them, and this, we feel, if implemented, can further escalate the issues relating to reconciliation and transitional justice, because both the victim and the victimizers were kept together in a place during that period.
And that's why we say when we are going to work in this community, especially in this lake region, there are key stakeholders that we need to bring on board. I'm happy during the presentation yesterday, the UNDP also make reference to that. The traditional leaders at the community level, the Bulamas, the Lawans, the Hakimis, who report directly to the Sheikhs, the monarch, these groups are the most important people who are the watchdog of their communities. And you cannot succeed if you don't engage the traditional rulers, not only the traditional rulers, then come the women groups. And with the women groups, they have traditional offices and institutions like Ermara, Ermara, which you call the Gimbias or the Gambias in our own part of the world. You need to engage this. And then
we will want to recommend strongly the USAID funded project, a 5-year program that is called Tolerance Training of Leaders in Religious Coexistence, which we feel should be scaled up in this region, will deepen the understanding of faith, hence consequently deepen the understanding of engaging in forgiveness and reconciliation. You need to forgive before you can actually get good reconciliation.
And let's talk about the process of de-radicalization processes within this community, the faith actors, religious actors, and the issue of creating counter-narratives. Because there are two important elements we don't know. We have what we call the takia. If somebody say, I'm sorry, it's over. As long as you didn't make ideological shift in his understanding of the motivating factor and the sustaining factor of his engaging, then and then you are just washing on the skin. And that's why we believe with our modules of scriptural reflection with the victimizers, scriptural reflection with the victims, we are able to take them to another level with which when the community will be happy to engage specifically with the stakeholder and be able to accept them in the process of acceptance with these particular important groups.
Well, finally, on this note, I think the moderator is having us to wrap up, but we will engage with you when you have questions, is to say to the general that is handling the issue of the safe corridor, that within the system, we have the capacity to get the people to begin to accept the formers. It is all about what we call divine intimidation strategy. The same strategy that was used to make them become violent can be used to make them peaceful.
And that's why we say finally, if people were programmed to hate in the name of God of love, to commit cruelty in the name of God of compassion, to go for vengeance in the name of God of forgiveness, and to kill in the name of God of life, then these same people can be changed. They can be transformed to become a better seed, because that is an aberration away from our culture. And we are a model of saying, yes, it is possible to change an extremely difficult heart moving positively. Thank you for giving us the privilege.
Thank you very much.
And thank you very much. Please put your hands together for these twins of interfaith, such an exemplary, not just model, but supermodel indeed. De-radicalization, counter-narratives, ideological shifts, producing real interfaith change. The narrative translated to very specific rhetoric. My co-chair, sir, just a very quick interjection, probably just about a minute before we come to Madam Wandu Mate, and I see that Maidama Hadiza Malamanzo is now here, but let's go straight to you, sir, just about a minute's wrap. Your take on this, thank you. Volume, please.
Shall I go there? This, as I was saying, that this was a very powerful presentation by my two colleagues. And one just example of the role of traditional leaders, which I will add, just to reinforce what has been said. Again, is an example of Rwanda. The role played by the Agachacha. This is a traditional system of justice, where, you know, if the Rwanda had wanted to try so many criminals, genocidaires, it would not have been possible through the traditional system, judicial system. What they did, yes, they accepted the special tribunal for Rwanda created by the United Nations Security Council, as they did for former Yugoslavia. But Rwanda has used the traditional system, the Agachacha, where wise people known for their wisdom and their integrity, traditionally, not only for this, meet with members of the community who have a conflict, listen to them, and then they make a decision. In this case also, Rwanda organized a Gacaca system of justice. Offenders came, they confessed, they expressed remorse, and they asked for forgiveness. These three elements are very important.
Excellent.
Confessing, expressing remorse, and asking for forgiveness.
Thank you very much. Please,
Thank you.
Let's appreciate Ambassador as we've heard it. There is an African answer when it comes to reconciliation and transitional justice, possibly the Akachacha. And let's hear from the women constituting wisdom in their own articulation. Thank you. You'd like to come up, please? Let's welcome Wandu Mate, chairwoman of ALDEPA. You're welcome.
Ok, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, Je voudrais déjà vous dire bonjour, mais aussi saluer l'initiative de ce forum et exprimer une gratitude spéciale au PNUD qui a permis que les consultations communautaires puissent être organisées et que nous puissions avoir les perspectives de ces communautés qui ont été touchées par la crise liée à l'intervention du groupe Boko Haram. Parler d'une expérience en cours au Cameroun serait difficile parce que nous ne sommes pas encore à ce stade du processus de réconciliation et de justice transitionnelle. Mais quand même, nous avons quelques initiatives embryonnaires que nous sommes en train de vivre ou d'expérimenter au Cameroun. Comme vous le savez, les autres pays sont aussi en train de l'expérimenter. Nous assistons au retour des personnes qui ont séjourné avec les Boko Haram, qui ont d'ailleurs joué un rôle, mais qui sont des repentis et prennent la décision de revenir chez eux. Ce que je peux partager ici chez nous, c'est que nous sommes au stade où ces personnes sont sécurisées. Ils ont été accueillis, mis en confiance, et nous pensons que c'est déjà un pas assez important dans le processus de réconciliation et même de la réintégration dont un panel a longuement parlé hier. Je voudrais aussi dire que la réconciliation et la justice transitionnelle, si on parle de l'expérience d'autres pays, est possible. Dans le lac Tchad, nos États ne vont pas être à l'écart des processus qui ont été engagés, même si nous pensons que le processus ne peut pas être au même niveau. Déjà, nous avons suivi des expériences partagées hier. Certains États sont en avance. C'est aussi normal que les spécificités des pays puissent être prises en compte dans le cadre de l'histoire que ces pays ont vécue, mais aussi dans le cadre de dispositifs qui devront être mis en place pour que le processus de réconciliation et de justice transitionnelle puisse être engagé. Je voudrais ici aussi revenir sur des éléments importants. Ceux qui viennent juste d'intervenir sont revenus dessus, notamment la question des acteurs qui devront intervenir dans le processus. Je crois que le rôle des leaders traditionnels et religieux est très important, mais personnellement, je voudrais aussi insister sur le rôle que peuvent jouer les femmes. Dans la gestion de la situation, nous avons vu que plusieurs femmes ont été impliquées en tant qu'actrices du mal, mais aussi dans la majorité des cas, elles sont des victimes. Je vais partager ici l'histoire d'une femme que j'ai rencontrée dans la prison, une jeune femme. Elle a été interpellée au moment où elle était sur le chemin de commettre un attentat. Alors quand je lui demande si elle savait qu'elle allait mourir et qu'elle allait commettre du mal, elle m'a dit oui, elle le savait, mais c'était pour elle la seule alternative de quitter la souffrance dans laquelle elle se trouvait. Aujourd'hui, elle est en prison et elle m'a dit, même si je dois rester éternellement dans cette prison, j'en suis fière parce qu'au moins ici, je ne souffre pas, je suis prise en charge. En fait, dans son histoire, elle a été enlevée et c'est son père biologique qui a organisé son enlèvement parce qu'elle a tenté plusieurs fois de résister au mariage forcé qui était organisé. Et quand elle est arrivée, elle a été mariée 3 fois de force. Le premier mariage, le mari est parti. Et quelques mois après, on lui a dit que là où il est allé au front, il s'est endormi. Ça veut dire qu'il est mort. Mais 3 jours après le décès de ce monsieur, elle a été mariée à un autre homme. 1 an plus tard, ce deuxième mari est parti. Elle a été mariée à un autre homme, donc 3 fois. Donc, pour elle, c'est une souffrance énorme. Et quand elle décide de partir pour un attentat, c'est vraiment brisé avec la souffrance. Je peux imaginer qu'il y a plusieurs femmes qui se retrouvent dans cette situation d'autres personnes aussi, malheureusement les jeunes, on peut dire qu'ils sont enrôlés volontairement, mais parmi eux, il y en a qui ont été enrôlés soit par la force, soit par la contrainte de la survie. Et donc, ces éléments, si on prend le soin d'écouter ces personnes, de comprendre leur histoire, il est possible que nous arrivons à la réconciliation. Nous avons expérimenté déjà quelques aspects de sensibilisation ou d'appel de conscience contre l'extrémisme violent et la radicalisation, avec le soutien du PNUD aussi parmi tant d'autres acteurs. Nous sommes en train de travailler avec les jeunes, mais aussi avec les leaders traditionnels, les leaders religieux, mais avec ces leaders inconnus, invisibles que sont les femmes, parce qu'elles sont très nombreuses, elles peuvent jouer un rôle important. Nous avons une autre initiative où nous avons engagé les jeunes dans le dialogue pour la paix, la stabilité et le vivre ensemble avec le soutien de l'Union européenne. Ces jeunes aujourd'hui ont créé des cercles interreligieux de réflexion et d'action pour la paix. Ils sont dans les communautés. Tous ces exemples dont je parle, c'est pour dire qu'il y a des leviers ou des initiatives qui pourront constituer des modèles le moment venu pour que nous engagions effectivement le processus de réconciliation dans nos États, mais aussi dans les régions qui sont les plus touchées. Les intervenants tout à l'heure ont parlé du pardon. Le fait d'accueillir déjà des personnes qui ont commis du mal et qui sont prêts à revenir, de les accueillir et de les sécuriser, c'est le premier pas du pardon, bien que dans le processus, il faudra que la vérité soit établie, qu'on sache exactement qui a fait quoi, et que si jamais ces personnes doivent être punies, l'acceptation d'assumer aussi le mal commis, ça fait partie de la réconciliation, mais la question de réparation aussi avec les défis, je crois que nous avons besoin d'être accompagnés dans le processus. Et je vous remercie.
Thank you. And I beg your pardon as well. Having said that, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. My apologies. And appreciation, commendations also, pragmatism for actual reconciliation and healing. Indeed, those are pragmatic examples, and we commend them. The stories continue, and the voice of the woman as the Agachacha woman, the woman of wisdom using transitional, wise justice to intervene, is still present with us. Maidama Hadiza Malamanzo of Niamey Tribunal. Let's put our hands together and welcome her as she comes. Thank you very much. Once again, these interventions are short, but we do request that if you have your own observations, you can put them up online, and we shall post them accordingly in the capture and the report. Thank you.
Bonjour chers participants. Depuis hier, donc, nos éminents participants se sont succédés et ont parlé de tous les tenants et les aboutissants par rapport à la gestion de la situation concernant la secte Boko Haram. Aujourd'hui, je vais vous entretenir d'une autre réalité de la secte, c'est-à-dire l'expérience du Niger et la gestion judiciaire qui a été faite de cette situation. Le Niger est un pays qui fait face à plusieurs défis sécuritaires et sur plusieurs plans. Ce qui explique qu'au Niger, le pôle judiciaire antiterroriste a été créé depuis 2011. Cependant, c'était un pôle qui fonctionnait au ralenti du fait que les textes étaient un peu en déphasage avec les infractions qui nous étaient soumises. En plus, donc, le Niger avait essentiellement connu sa première attaque Boko Haram en mai 2015 avec les attaques de Bosso. À partir de cette date, le pôle antiterroriste s'était retrouvé avec plus de 1500 détenus qui étaient déportés de la zone de Difa vers Niamey, où les pôles judiciaires étaient installés. Les infractions, l'infraction principale qui était poursuivie à la matière, c'est-à-dire l'association des malfaiteurs en relation avec une entreprise terroriste, était considérée comme criminelle, ce qui alourdissait la procédure. Donc les dossiers n'avançaient pas. Il a fallu une réforme intervenue en juin 2016 pour que cette infraction soit correctionnalisée, c'est-à-dire elle a été transformée en délit au lieu que ce soit un crime. Donc à partir de cette date, les juridictions ont commencé à travailler. De 2016 à nos jours, 136 dossiers terroristes ont été jugés au Niger, qui concernent 342 détenus, 147 ont été condamnés, 195 ont été relaxés. Ceux qui ont été condamnés ont pris des peines allant de 5 ans à 10 ans moins 1 jour. C'est la fourchette des peines qui était prévue. Au Niger, donc, pour ce qui est des mineurs, 14 dossiers ont été jugés et concernent 23 détenus. Et 7 ont été condamnés, 16 ont été relaxés. Il y a lieu de remarquer que parmi les initiatives prises au Niger pour gérer la situation de Boko Haram, les mineurs qui sont relaxés et qui ont séjourné à la secte sont cantonnés dans un centre appelé centre de transit et d'orientation. Au sein de ces centres, les jeunes sont déradicalisés, on leur apprend des métiers avant d'organiser leur retour au sein de leur foyer. D'un autre côté, des travailleurs sociaux vont dans leur foyer pour faire un travail de sensibilisation pour éviter les stigmatisations et parfois certains sont même carrément rejetés par leur famille. Au sein de nos différentes prisons, donc au Niger, nous avons 925 détenus actuellement en attente de jugement. Parmi les 925 détenus Boko Haram, nous avons 391 qui sont des nationalités nigérianes, 20 sont des nationalités tchadiennes, 2 sont camerounais, il y a un burkinabé et un tunisien. Actuellement, nous avons un camp, comme ma chère collègue qui vient de me précéder avait parlé des repentis. Ce sont des combattants qui ont déposé les armes et qui se sont rendus aux autorités. Nous avons un camp à Goudou-Maria où ils sont parqués. Actuellement, nous avons un effectif de 222 anciens combattants, si on peut les appeler ainsi, parmi lesquels nous avons 118 Nigériens et 104 Nigériens. Donc cette situation démontre tous les défis auxquels le Niger doit faire face à la gestion et judiciaire de l'affaire, mais aussi sur le plan de la gestion des personnes démobilisées. En ce qui concerne ces personnes, l'initiative qui a été prise au Niger pour l'instant est qu'ils sont en train, les autorités sont en train d'envisager d'organiser des activités pour les resocialiser. Et ces activités, les autorités ont décidé que pour une personne qui a bénéficié d'une activité pour la resocialisation, pour un ancien combattant, 10 personnes doivent bénéficier pour éviter les frustrations au sein des populations. Donc, ces repentis, pour l'instant, leur situation juridique n'est pas encore claire, puisque au regard de l'article 399.1.20 de notre code pénal, nous ne pouvons pas les considérer comme des repentis, parce que les conditions sont claires pour qu'une personne soit considérée comme un repenti. Il n'y a que 2 cas. Ou, après avoir fait partie de la secte, il s'est repenti, il est revenu, il a confessé ses actes et il a dénoncé les auteurs des actes qui ont été commis, ce qui aura permis de les arrêter. Ou bien, il fait partie d'une organisation qui a organisé, planifié des attaques et avant que ces attaques n'aient eu lieu, il vient, il confesse ce qu'il a fait et que cela aurait permis d'arrêter et d'éviter les attaques projetées. Or, ceux qui sont dans nos camps de repentis ne répondent à aucun de ces cas. Ils ont participé à des attaques, ils ont commis des infractions et maintenant, avec l'appel de nos autorités, ils se sont rendus. Pour l'instant, la solution est que les autorités sont en phase de voir comment mettre à la disposition de la justice une loi d'amnistie qui va permettre de gérer plus heureusement cette situation. Donc voilà l'expérience du Niger en matière de la gestion et des affaires terroristes et essentiellement le Boko Haram, car en réalité le Niger ne fait pas seulement face au Boko Haram, mais nous avons aussi l'ouest du Tillabéri où il y a d'autres organisations terroristes qui font leur activité. Donc, en un mot, voilà ce que nous avons préparé par rapport à la gestion juridique des affaires de la secte Boko Haram et des tenants et aboutissants. Je vous remercie.
Yes, indeed. We thank very much Madam Maidama Hadiza Malamanzo, and the Niger experience is one that clearly re-articulates the heart and the faith of the community to providing not just an answer, any answer, but answers of peace. Our chair today, the governing chair, is His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, represented by Engineer Mohammed Suraj, Honorable Commissioner for Water Resources. We will take his overview of the various interjections, and then we shall come back to a roundup looking at the time for the interactives if possible. Otherwise, we shall continue as directed with the rest of the discussion. Thank you. My chair.
Your Excellency, our host, and our amiable governor, and representative of our President, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alhaji Muhammadu Buhari, other governors here from Cameroon, Niger, Chad, and the Nigeria-Niger Commission. Your Excellency, permit me to stand on the existing protocols. Yesterday, discussions were centered on rehabilitation, reintegration, reconstruction, and today we are coming back to reconciliation, which is almost the final phase of the program. Our various people presented their own views, some shared their own experiences. Our brother from Rwanda shared with us touching experience and how they traditionally set up councils to sort out criminal offenses through confessions, reconciliation, and then forgiveness. And I agree with my brother from Rwanda that you need strong leadership for reconciliation and transitional justice to take place and have an effect. You need both political and spiritual leadership. Our two brothers here, the Imam and the pastor, who are representing the interfaith, who came and made their presentations together, is an example of the way spiritual leaders can impact, they can help in the reconciliation process. Because it is the same people, the same conception that leads somebody to kill, is the same process that will be followed to de-radicalize the person, to make the person believe and agree that he had been on the wrong side. So we need the spiritual leaders. Spiritual leaders must be very knowledgeable. They must be very committed, very firm. But for the spiritual leaders to succeed, you need the political leaders. We have a lot of problem with things not going on if there is no strong political leadership. Our meeting here is because we have strong leaders. We have our governors here, and that is why our partners, our religious leaders can participate, they can air their views, and then decisions taken. So we definitely need strong political leadership to carry out reconciliation is a very, very difficult process. Very, very difficult process for you to bring a victim, then bring the victimizer, and then reconcile, and then create an environment for them to live together. You agree it's a very, very tedious and very, very difficult process. Definitely, you will need not only the governors, the excellencies, but you'll have to come down to the smallest ward head, like the bulamas as we have here. From the Hakimai in some places, you come to the Lawans, you come to the bulamas. You definitely need to come down there for you to bring both of them together. The role of women, as our sisters here provided, is an opportunity for them to sit and talk and share experiences so that the whole society can be integrated. Without women, you cannot really reconcile the society. They are victims, even if they are victimizers, as the case might be, as our sister here has given us an example, that she has been used. She has become a victimizer, but she's actually a victim as well. So this is a very tedious process, very slow, and every place, every country have their own experiences. Even in Nigeria, various societies have their own experiences and have their own ways of reconciling people when things like this do happen. I hope we've taken notes from all the presentations. I don't know, moderator, whether will allow for questions or comments.
Unfortunately, we are unable to go further with any questions and comments, not even 1 minute comments from our panel. However, I am directed to bring our attention. There is a platform that has been created, and it will be posted on the screens where we can send your contributions, your observations. This is a startup discussion, and it's just at the beginning. So there it is, lcb, uppercase, governors.secretariat@undp.org. Please, this has been recognized as a critical point for the roadmap that is being created, and all of these observations and conclusions from the floor are respectfully asked to be directed to that particular email point. Thank you, my chair, my governing chair, co-chair, Ambassador Bwakira, and all of the distinguished panelists. This conversation continues, but right now, for the purpose of that which is the event program and procedure, we respectfully bring this to a close, but not a closure, we are sure. It continues. Thank you. Please, a round of applause for the panel. Reconciliation and Transitional Justice. Thank you very much. Could you all please rise, come forward for the photograph with His Excellency, our host governor of the forum, as well as to be joined by, I believe, the other governors and executive secretary for the Lake Chad Basin Governors Forum. Please rise. Thank you very much. And just stand here. The photographers, please. Thank you very much. Another round of applause. Please help me appreciate all of the distinguished panelists. Right now, we're going to go to perspectives of partners in stabilization of the Lake Chad Basin before returning to the governor's panel, a way forward, reflections on challenges and opportunities. But right now, inviting to come upstage, to be upseated here, Their Excellencies, Francois Dusaini Fall, UN Special Representative of the Secretary General for Central Africa, His Excellency Ambassador George Schmidt, Africa Director of the German Foreign Office as co-chair, His Excellency Ambassador Jean-Peter Jemprud, Norwegian Ambassador to Nigeria, Joanna Garbalinska, Acting Director, the Nigeria Ingo Forum, and Tom Mugoya of the ADB. While we're turning around all of the names for the seating, I invite chairing this particular session on perspectives of partners in stabilization of the Lake Chad Basin. We have chairing His Excellency Francois Lucene Fall, UN Special Representative of the Secretary General for Central Africa. Co-chair is Ambassador George Schmidt, Africa Director of the German Foreign Office. And joining them will be Their Excellencies, and diplomatic representations, Ambassador Jean-Peter Jemprut, Norwegian Ambassador to Nigeria, Joanna Garbalinska, the Acting Director of the Nigeria Ingo Forum, and Tom Mugoya of the African Development Bank. Putting a human face to all of the travesty and tragedy of the fallouts of this challenge within the Lake Chad Basin, communities of reference, and socioeconomics in terms of the matrix of engagements. You're welcome, sir. Chair for this particular panel on perspectives of partners, His Excellency Francois Lucene Fall, to do us the opening remarks. I know I'm running this on a fast track. Thank you. Sorry, could you please have some... Thank you. To settle the room, the chair of this next panel on partnerships. Thank you very much. Thank you. Maybe a little more volume. Thank you for His Excellency's microphone. Thank you very much.
Nous allons à présent commencer notre séance et nous aurons l'honneur de présider cette séance qui va discuter des perspectives des partenaires. Nous avons déjà eu d'intéressants échanges de points de vue sur d'importantes questions hier et ce matin, des questions touchant à la stabilisation dans le bassin du lac Tchad, la réintégration, la réconciliation et la justice transitionnelle que nous venons de suivre. À présent, nous sommes appelés à échanger sur notre aspect non moins important et qui, à notre avis, déterminera l'avenir des régions affectées par Boko Haram. Il s'agit des opportunités et des défis de la stabilisation. Et nous avons donc l'honneur d'avoir à nos côtés d'éminents représentants des partenaires extérieurs qui ont contribué largement à la tenue de ce forum et qui accompagneront donc les différents États dans la mise en œuvre des différents programmes qui seront mis en place pour assurer la stabilisation pour un développement durable. Pour ma part, en introduction, je dirais que en ce qui concerne cette stabilisation, le tout sécuritaire n'est pas la solution finale. Certes, les questions sécuritaires pour le moment nous intéressent énormément parce qu'il faut défaire totalement Boko Haram militairement, mais aussi pour avoir une stabilisation, il faudrait que cette dimension sécuritaire soit maintenue, avoir des équipes des groupes bien équipés, des armées bien formées pour assurer la sécurité, car quand il n'y a pas de sécurité, il n'y a certainement pas de développement. Mais en même temps, nous allons toucher à l'autre aspect qui est naturellement le relèvement rapide des régions affectées
par Boko Haram. Et donc, ici, nous allons avoir la possibilité d'écouter nos partenaires qui sont avec nous. Et je ne voudrais pas être trop long en introduisant donc ce thème, puisque nous aurons 45 minutes. Ils doivent nous permettre d'abord aux panélistes de donner leur point de vue et ensuite quelques minutes pour que nous puissions échanger et avant d'avoir les perspectives des gouverneurs qui sont directement concernés par le phénomène de Boko Haram dans les différentes régions dont ils ont l'honneur de diriger les destinées. Donc, sur ce point, je voudrais m'arrêter ici. Et
Very sincere apologies. We'd like to invite to please come up for the panel discussion the UN Permanent Representative of Nigeria, Professor Bande. Please could he apologize?
Poser sur ces différents points, mais nous voulons souligner seulement que l'appui aux efforts nationaux, régionaux et multilatéraux dans l'élaboration de stratégies de stabilisation régionale et le soutien aux efforts visant à la réhabilitation du niveau des eaux du lac Tchad et autres aspects qui doivent être déterminés. Nous continuerons donc à mobiliser les énergies et avoir un programme transversal de développement dans les